The sun was high, the air was crisp. It was a perfect day for a hike. My backpack felt light, my boots crunched on the trail. I smiled, breathing in the fresh air. This is what it's all about, I thought. I'd been planning this solo hike for weeks. A chance to escape the city, to reconnect with nature. The trail was challenging but rewarding. Each turn offered a new vista, a new masterpiece painted by nature. Hours flew by, the sun started its descent. Golden light filtered through the trees. I consulted my map, feeling a twinge of concern. I was supposed to be near the ranger station by now. I pushed on, hoping to find a familiar landmark, but the trail seemed to twist and turn with a mind of its own. Doubt crept in. I was lost. The light faded fast. Shadows stretched, twisting familiar shapes into menacing figures. Panic welled up inside me. I had to find shelter, fast. The forest grew quiet. Even the birds had gone quiet. The air grew still, heavy with the threat of rain. I shivered, pulling my jacket tighter. The darkness felt like a living thing closing in. Then through the trees I saw it, a faint light, a cabin. Hope surged through me. I stumbled towards it, my heart pounding in my chest. As I got closer, a sense of unease washed over me. The cabin was old, dilapidated, the wood was rotten, eaten away by time and weather, but it was shelter, and right now, that was all that mattered. I pushed open the creaking door. The smell hit me first, musty, like old books and damp earth. A fire crackled in the hearth, casting flickering shadows on the walls. The cabin was small, just one room. A rough wooden table sat in the center, a couple of rickety chairs, and on the far wall, a dusty cot. But it was the paintings that drew my attention. Several portraits hung on the walls. Faces stared back at me, their eyes following my every move. They looked so lifelike, so intense. I tried to ignore them, focusing on building up the fire. I needed warmth, needed to feel safe, but I couldn't shake the feeling of being watched. Exhaustion finally overwhelmed my fear. I collapsed onto the cot, my eyes heavy, but sleep wouldn't come. Every time I closed my eyes, I saw their faces, the people in the portraits. Their eyes seemed to burn into me, filled with a strange mixture of sadness and malice. I tossed and turned, the floorboards creaking beneath me. The wind howled outside, rattling the shutters, or was it the wind? I sat up, my heart racing. The fire had died down, plunging the cabin into darkness. I couldn't see the portraits anymore, but I could feel them, watching, waiting. Sunlight streamed through the windows, rousing me from a restless sleep. I sat up, my head pounding. The events of the previous night came flooding back. The lost trail, the creepy cabin, the portraits. I looked around, my heart skipping a beat. The paintings were gone. Where the portraits had hung, there were now windows. Sunlight streamed through them, illuminating the dusty interior. It was as if the cabin had transformed overnight. I rushed outside, searching for any sign of the paintings, but there was nothing. Just the forest, stretching out before me. The trees swayed gently in the breeze, as if sharing a secret. I quickly gathered my belongings and fled the cabin. I didn't look back. I didn't want to know the truth. I found my way back to the trail, my mind racing. Had I imagined the whole thing? Was it the exhaustion playing tricks on me, or was there something truly sinister about that cabin? Something that could make paintings disappear and windows appear overnight? I don't have the answers. All I know is that I'll never forget that night. The night I stumbled upon the cabin in the woods. The night the portraits watched me.